Cheers. Well, I think on the question of the Green Party, I understand my own personal opinion. Baddeker is made up of people from many and no party political backgrounds. But in my opinion, I think ordinary people do need a party of their own, one that is to the left of Labour. But I think, to claim to be that alternative is something you have to earn. I was disappointed that in Bristol, the Labour Party councillors abstained on a cut budget of 35 million, but even more so that the Green Party councillors voted for that. And like I say, I think a claim to be an alternative is something that must be earned. I think on the issue of jobs, which is what I'll finish on, I think that is a huge issue. I think that's something that can be really used to tug on the heartstrings, because it's hard out there at the moment. There aren't a lot of jobs, particularly well-paid and skilled jobs. But the counter-argument to that, obviously, is, well, what better things could those skills be put to use on? What things that could actually help humanity rather than cause the risk of destroying it can it be used for? I was reading an article today about the Large Hadron Collider, a big piece of science pushing the boundaries of physics back. It's undergoing refurbishment at the moment, huge amount of skilled labour going into that. But, things closer to home, clean, green energy, everything else. I won't list everything, but we've got to give alternatives to that, because it is a very strong argument to have jobs.
Thanks very much. Andrew?
Yeah, I agree with Hannah. We've got to give the people in the Labour Party, outside the Labour Party, campaigning on these issues every support. And the more that we work inside our Stop the War or CND groups to raise these questions, to get out on the streets, the more we can support Hannah and actually get to the position that she wants to be in inside her party, which is against nuclear weapons, and that's of fundamental importance. So the main message is really to get active in your community, to build the campaigns. There will be sharp arguments amongst us. There are bound to be, because these are such important questions, and people feel strongly about them, and so they should. That's the way it is. In terms of the press, I think there was quite a good bit of press around Aldermaston yesterday, because CND has a fantastic press office, which has been built up over a considerable period. I was the press officer for Stop the War, and the first time we had a big demonstration, there was no press coverage, and so I rang up the Guardian and said, nothing about our big demo, and they said, we have a policy of not covering demonstrations. Well, we changed that with the Guardian by building a campaign which they could not ignore, and I think that's what we have to do. The bedroom tax protest, which took place on Saturday around the country, they were very, very big in Glasgow. Many thousands of people came out in Glasgow, but they were out in towns and cities around Britain. There was no press coverage of that whatsoever, as far as I could see. So, I think we've just got to keep building the campaigns throughout the length and breadth of this country, fighting for what we believe in, arguing amongst ourselves, but in a comradely way, a way that takes us all forward together. I think that's the way forward. Thank you.
The jobs one is a very interesting one. I was challenged the other day in a meeting in Newcastle, a big meeting, and someone at the back said in a very indignant voice, what about jobs? What about jobs for the people in Barrow? Well, I know bugger all about the jobs in Barrow, but that didn't stop me making something up. I said, well, they're perfectly, why can't they make hospital ships? There was absolute silence. That's a really good idea. I said, make some hospital ships and give them to the World Health Organization. Oh, yes, good idea. Silence. Of course they could make hospital ships if they wanted to make hospital ships. If you've got some ships going around doing eye operations, well, have some imagination as to what you can do with the wonderful skills that you've got. The Green Party, I don't represent the Green Party or any other party. I wish them all well as individuals, and I'm sure we've got a sincere expression there for the future, and I hope for the best. But the Green Party's given us Caroline Lucas. Well, if she was a Catholic, I'd have her canonised. She is absolutely brilliant. Perhaps she wouldn't want to be canonised. Anyway, I'd canonise her because she's a real voice of integrity and honesty in Parliament. We need more women like that, whatever party they may be in. On schools, use Concord films. Nobody bothers with Concord Films. They've got archives, excellent short clips for things that you can use on about. Big If is on precisely on poverty and war. Wonderful little 15-minute film. Use it, but don't ignore it. And finally, on the media, bang away. Never give up. Bang away on the media. You don't get this letter in, you'll get that letter in. Ring up the Today programme, think I'm mad. Well, perhaps I am, I don't know. But I ring up every day almost on the Today programme and say, why didn't you say this and why didn't you say that? Okay, but if you can't get in the Guardian, well, get it into the Pigeon Fancier's Journal. There'll be some magazine that'll take your blooming letter. And you'll start people thinking. There's no thing that's published that doesn't reach 5,000 people, even a parish magazine. So please use the media in every way you can. Don't give up on it.
Big thank you to Bruce and to all our speakers, and to you, of course, for the excellent discussion and debate. There are many copies here of the Time to Scrap Trident petition, which you can take away with you and fill up with your friends and workmates and whatever. There's also some other C&D materials and materials from other campaigns at the back of the room and outside. So please avail yourselves of that. Do everything you can to build the opposition to Trident and make sure we win both at the election in 2015 with an anti-Trident position, and of course we defeat the replacement of Trident in 2016. And please stay for a cup of tea and more discussion. Thank you.